Hello and thank you for joining me on another video. It is Boxing Day 2024 and I thought what better time of year to show you my brand new winter camping setup, as in sleeping equipment. So none of this video is sponsored, none of this stuff has been given to me. I bought it all out of my own pocket. Some of it's quite expensive. Well, all of it's quite expensive really. I'm down at CaeDai Wilderness Camp here in Denbigh in North Wales. I will put some links to the how to contact them if you want to stay at this campsite. Got a couple of new bits of tech now. The first new bit of tech is I've just been into the woods and set it up as a wildlife camera. Why I've never had one before I don't know. This one's a Campark IC something or other. They're pretty generic, most of these wildlife cameras, so I've already been into the woods, set that up and put some dog food down as a bit of a trap. I'm hoping to get maybe foxes through. Now I did try and buy some peanuts because if there's any badgers in this area they go mad for peanuts. Fortunately, you wouldn't have thought so at this time of year. Couldn't get hold of any peanuts whatsoever. You know, not the non-salted type, just normal peanuts that you put out for the birds. Couldn't get hold of any, so fingers crossed we do get something on the camera. Now I did want to get here early so I could set the camera up, because if there is foxes in this area they'll know that people come here and they'll know there'll be scraps of food dotted about kind of thing. Although you know, it is a fairly clean campsite, but they will know there's human occupation, if you like, here. So that's me thinking behind maybe foxes in this area. Muntjacks, I've never heard them. Muntjac jay, never heard it. Don't think there's any roe deers in this area. So I'm hedging my bets on the badgers and the foxes. We'll see what happens. Might even just be a couple of birds. Might even be a stray dog that comes along and eats all my dog food. And I have tried dog food before. I used a sausage type thing, like in a plastic wrapper, big sausage kind of meat thing, and what I did, well, this is going back a good few years, I just plonked it on the ground and lo and behold the fox just came, grabbed it and ran off. So that was when I was doing a bit of observing of nature. I didn't have a camera at that time. Right, so without further ado, that's me waffling already. I'm going to show you the first bit of kit, because if you think of your sleep system, obviously it's going to be a lot colder in winter, so you need some good bomb-proof stuff. And I think of my sleep system in two parts. So I've got my sleeping mat or pad, and then I've got the sleeping bag. But I've gone one further. I've actually bought, you know, like these kind of foil things, you'll see in a minute, it's like a foil blanket. That's going down first, and that will also protect the new sleeping mattress I've got. So without further ado, let me get that off the bike. So obviously I'm bike packing, so the majority of my camping stuff is on the bike. I'll show you what's in my rucksack in a minute, but this is the first item I've got. Don't know if you can see that. It's just in a dry bag that came with that system that I've got on the front. It's by Restrap, the handlebar system. I'll go through all the bags on the bike in a little bit and what luggage system I've got. So yeah, you all know what one of them is. You put them on your car window screen in the winter and in the summer to keep the heat out. So yeah, it's just basically, it's kind of insulated in itself. It's quite long, I think, I seem to remember, because I have had this out at home. So that's going in first. Right, we're having some tech issues today. We've had quite a few issues on the way here. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Right, the next bit of the kit is this, which is the Obsidian by One Tigress sleeping pad, sleeping mat, call it what you will. It does come with one of these bellow bags that you can kind of fill with air, squeeze it into this. But I'm going to cheat a little bit today, and I've brought my rechargeable flexi tail gear little pump, if I can get it out. So that's what that looks like. This does come with its own dry bag, which is this. It's a little bit difficult to cram it in there because I've thought myself some of these as well as part of my winter gear. They're like, what do they call them now? It's gone from me. But anyway, they're like duck down booties, I think they're called, camping booties. It's supposed to be waterproof. I ain't going to use them in this kind of environment where it's really muddy. But they're for kind of in the tent at night when you're not quite ready for bed. You want to take your shoes off, you want to keep your feet warm. And then, as always, I've got, I'm not sure if this is a Rambler Peak, but it's one of them kind of, yeah, it is the Rambler Peak one. I can tell by the colour. It is just one of them bog standard kind of pillows, self-inflating again. I do apologise for not looking at the camera, but I'm trying to get all this done because we're losing light, and I want to show you my next bit of tech that I've got. Now that looks like a dry bag, but just looking down there I can see daylight in the seam. So this is usually stored in my at the bottom of my dry bag rucksack, which I'll show you all. Like I say, I'll show you all the bike gear in a minute. So let's get this little beauty pumped up. Right, so a couple of minutes to pump up. It is a honeycomb kind of arrangement. I'll bring you in a minute for a bit of a better look. It's honeycomb, like I say, a couple of minutes to pump up. Right, now with your sleeping pad, you're sleeping, you basically your mattress. They do say that for winter time you need something rated R5 or above. Now in the past, on a previous camp, if you watch me all the time, if you're a subscriber and you keep up with me, you will know that in the past, I think it was last February, I did a wild camp in Llangollen, and I decided to use 2 R3 rated mattresses on top of the other, sleeping pads on top of the other. It kind of worked, but I got cold spots, and at that time as well I was actually using 2 sleeping bags. The Marmot Always Summer, which is a summer sleeping bag obviously, and I was using a cheap Gellert envelope sleeping bag. And like I say, I got through the night, but I was awoken in the night because I had a couple of cold spots. So with the foil down first, that's going to reflect some of my body heat back up and suppress any cold air back down. Also, it's going to protect the inflatable mat against any thorns, twigs, sharp stones, that kind of thing. So it has 2 purposes, but we'll see how we go on tonight. Right, the last and not least, you need your sleeping bag. Now I've spent again a ridiculous amount of money, and I've got myself, it is the Rab Ascent 900 down sleeping bag. Obviously I've looked at YouTubers, they use this kind of thing in Scotland in winter, so it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. Rab, very reputable make. The down that's in this is responsibly sourced. Now in the manufacturing process, this is just out there, usually what companies do, and Rab are the only ones that I know have done this, the down gets washed, and by washing it they get rid of all the oils. What Rab have done is teamed up with Nick Wax, and then they recoat the down, and so it's moisture resistant. But I'm sure you probably all know about down sleeping bags, how to treat them. You do get a sizable storage bag because these aren't supposed to be stored compressed, and you do get a compression bag. Let me see if I can find it, which to me, that's not a compression bag. It's just, I'm told in the shop that it's waterproof. See if I can see any daylight. No, I can't see any daylight. Looks like it's been double seamed, double taped seams, but to me that isn't a compression sack. It's just a bag to store it in your rucksack basically. It's got no strapping on the outside, so you can actually snug it down and press it. So a bit disappointed with that. Right, price. If you've been watching other videos and you're unsure whether to get one of these bags, and by the way I've got a thermometer up here, it's quite mild at the moment, but temperature might drop. We are at 10 degrees at the moment, so it's fairly mild, isn't it? What was I going to say then? Oh, price. Right, so if you've been watching other videos, I've seen ones where they've managed to get this at 200 quid at Go Outdoors. Yeah, maybe 5 years ago. I paid 340. I did shop around Amazon, similar price to Ellis Brigham and Cotswolds. Now, the problem was with Amazon, I had to be in that day, which I wasn't, and they couldn't deliver, obviously, a big product like this to one of their lockers. My next option was to go on to Cotswolds website, see if they had it in stock. No, didn't have it in stock. I went to Chester before I actually bought this. Actually, I think I'd ordered this already. Yeah, I had ordered it already. I went to Chester. I had to pick it up, obviously, because I had to order it in store with Ellis Brigham. So basically, they didn't have it in stock, but they could get it into the store for me. So that was another 20 quid. So I spent 360 quid on a sleeping bag that I'm hoping is now going to do me for the winter. Now, the rating on it, Rab only put a limit rating on their bags, and the limit rating is -12. I believe the extreme rating is -28 now. In the UK, even in Scotland, we're not going to get that cold. So I've got great expectations. Like I say, this is not a review, but I'll let you know how I get on later on tonight when the temperature starts dropping down. We'll have a look at the thermometer, and in the morning I'll tell you my thoughts about it. So for the time being, that is going to go right down the other end of the tent, because we're going to be doing some cooking, and it tends to splatter what I have, you know, oils and what have you, and I don't want that thing getting wrecked on its first outing. That's the first time it's actually been out of its storage bag today, and all I've done with that again is in the Lomo dry bag, just crammed it in along with this sleeping mat, the sleeping pad, crammed it all in, and I bought myself, only from Matalan, 12 quid. It's not duck down, it's synthetic, but a puffy jacket just to keep me warm when we're into them colder nights. And I can't wait to try these on. My feet are always cold when I'm camping. I can even feel my toe now. One of my toes is getting cold. I've also bought myself some waterproof socks. Not that I need them, because my boots are pretty good. I use Carrymore Hot Rocks. So I bought myself some waterproof socks just as an extra layer. And that's pretty much it for the winter setup. Brand new, never been out the bags before. This is its virgin voyage, let's say, and I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward. You know, I've invested a lot of money in it. Just hope that this doesn't go down tonight. But I do keep on this side of the tent, down here, got a little pocket. You've got one at the other side. Usually store my tent bag on that side, and then this side is my personal, so I'll keep that handy, and I keep the valve up near my head, so in the night, if it does go down, I have to roll one way, put a bit of air in, we're all good to go again. And that's me waffling. Right, oh, right, the last bit of tech that I've got. This is the DJI Neo drone. For years, people have left comments, Andy, have you got a drone? They've even asked me at work, because the roof where I work needed inspecting, and work even asked me if I'd got a drone, because they know I'm into the outdoors kind of thing. But I finally bought one. Again, out of my own money. It is classed as a, excuse me, it is classed as a selfie vlogging drone. CAA stipulations for this drone: you don't need a flyer ID, you don't need to do the course. All you need to do is register your drone, and that's called an operator's ID, and it needs to be found somewhere on the drone. If you get stopped, oh, there's a robin there. If you got stopped by the police or questioned, whatever, you need your flyer ID to be on the drone. Don't need your mobile number or your email address or anything like that, just your flyer. Your operator ID. Mine is, I'm not going to show you on camera obviously, but mine is conveniently placed on a sticker underneath the battery. They do stipulate it's got to be accessible without tools, and obviously you can just unclip the battery. So that is the drone. Now it is fully autonomous, which means it's got preset settings in it, like follow me. It's got a droney, all them kind of things. Again, I've done a video about this drone, well, a small video, and I've kind of messed up on that video a little bit, because when I said on the screen that I was flying it manually, it just said flying manually by D. What I meant to put was DJI Fly app, whatever it's called, DJI Fly. Now, if you're thinking about getting one of these drones, they're brilliant. They're lightweight. It's less than 250 grams, like I say, so you don't need a flyer ID to use it. You will see on the internet, oh, you can fly this without the app. No, you can't. You need the app to register the drone. Then once you've registered it with the DJI Fly app, then you can use it autonomously. So forget all that rubbish that you hear on other videos saying you can fly this without the app. Yes, you can, once it's registered. So I'm going to take it out. It does like light. It's not got any avoidance sensors on it. The only sensors are two underneath here, which help it see the ground. So in low light you can't fly it either. And I'm just wondering, I know the sun's out, but it is kind of fairly shady where I am. So I'm going to do this first while we've got some decent light still, and then I'll take you through the bags. So I'm going to put a little bit of music over this bit, hope you enjoy, and it'll just be a little fly around the campsite. There is people here, so I'm going to respect their privacy, and the owners do know that I've brought a drone with me. So hope you enjoyed that drone footage of the campsite. You will notice there's logs everywhere, there's trees that have come down. We've had 2 storms in North Wales recently, last weekend and the weekend before. It's brought a few of the trees down, but there is some trees earmarked for felling anyway that have become diseased or, you know, for whatever reason. So it's not usually, you know, we're out of season. There's only me and a few of the lads here. We're out of season, but if you do come here, all that will be cleared. Excuse me. All that will be cleared because the lads that are here now, they're working on getting it all cleared and what have you. So the last couple of shots I did were autonomous modes. So one was fly away from me when I was waving from the tent, and the last one was a rocket mode, and you can set these how high it goes and all that in the app. So the last one was a rocket mode where the drone actually goes straight up and then points the camera down. So hope you've enjoyed that little bit of footage. It's only a little bit. I will release another video about the drone footage for the CaeDai Wilderness campsite. You'll either see it on my channel, and hopefully if Lisa allows me, she'll put it onto the Facebook group that they've got. Again, links in the description box below. Right, the last thing to do really is to show you around the bike. You're probably wondering, yeah, I've got the new sleep setup, but what do I actually use, kind of thing, you know, what bike do I use and all that kind of jazz. So I'll take you around that now. The bike is the Pinnacle Arcos gravel bike. Some of you may know a gravel bike is a cross between a road racer and a mountain bike, depending on what tyres you put on them, basically. But that is the bike that I'm using. On the front here, we've got a Restrap handlebar bag. That is where that silver underlayer from my sleep system that lives in there. Yeah, I've got a couple of aero bars, not to make me look cool at all. Just gives me a different riding position than being on the hoods all the time. You'll notice here that I've got 2 fork bags. These are carbon fibre forks on the Pinnacle Arcos. So I think I got these generically off Amazon. You have to be really careful when you're mounting stuff on carbon fibre forks. But yeah, they've done the job. I have done a video in the past on these bags. So one side I keep my gas, my stove and a wind protector for the gas stove. On the other side is like my pots, my mugs, cutlery, that kind of thing. So it's really lightweight, that's on the front end of the bike really. So onto the frame itself, you can see that I've got 3 water bottles, only one of them is full. I don't need to carry loads of water with me. It's a campsite, there's running water here, there's a tap where you can get your water from. In here, this main frame bag, also by Restrap, is all my stuff for bike maintenance. And well, yeah, I did have a puncture on the way here, so I usually carry 2 inner tubes. On this occasion I had one that had been repaired previously, so note to self, I need to get some more inner tubes. But yeah, it wasn't really a nightmare. It took me maybe 20-30 minutes to rip the back. It was on the back as well. Rip that wheel off. I checked the tyre inside several times. I must have gone over it about 12 times. Couldn't feel what had created the puncture, so I'm reckoning it was just like a thorn and then it had come out again. But yeah, had a puncture on the way here. So absolutely important that you've got your kit, and that, you know, all that is bike maintenance, chain breaker, pump. I've even, on this side, I've got a strap. So the bike goes with me sometimes on trains, and as you know, in train stations there's not always lifts available, so sometimes you need to carry a bike. Now the bike, when it's fully loaded, weighs about 35-40 kilos, so that's why I carry that. I just wrap it around there and carry it on my shoulder basically. Another Restrap bag here. In there is mainly water purification tablets, there may be the odd Twix or chocolate bar in there just for a boost of energy, and that's where I keep my house keys as well. This one is by Rock Bros or Rock Bros. One side is one of my power banks. On the other side is usually my phone. I'm a smoker, so there's usually tobacco and a lighter in that side. It's just easy access, you know, anything you want to put easy access that you don't need to get out of the saddle for particularly, it's all easy access in there. With the water, I have got another bottle holder over there, which is again easy access. Moving on to the rear of the bike, we've got the Restrap. I think they call it a saddle holster, don't quote me. I'll put links in the description as well. That, obviously you've seen, that is where the tent lives, and that's the only function that has, and the tripod usually slips down there as well. On the rear panniers I've got two Lomo pannier bags, quite small ones. I think they're about 30 litres or 25 litres, something around that mark. One side, on this side, I keep my personals kit, so kind of what I'm reading tonight, extra camera gear, extra batteries, sanitary stuff and all that jazz lives on one side, and then on the other side is my frying pan and all the good food that we're going to eat. And then last but not least is my Lomo dry bag rucksack. This thing is bomb proof, I'll tell you, it really is. I've got a radio on there. I'm a licensed ham radio operator. On this channel we do things kosher, like my drone, it's registered with the CAA. I've done all the legal stuff that I need to do, so we're all kosher on this channel. So usually I know I'm an old fogey, I listen to Radio 4, sometimes at night, you know, in bed, listen to a bit of the radio on the way here. Again, in my personals bag I carry spare batteries for the radio, that kind of thing, you know what I mean. So in there, and it's in that dry bag is actually my kind of fishing seat. I think it's a bit too cold to sit out tonight like, but it lives in there. And then in the bottom was the One Tigris Obsidian sleeping mat. That was crammed in the bottom of there with the pump and the pillow. And then on top of that, yes, it comes with its own stuff sack, as I've just demonstrated. It's not really a stuff sack. The sleeping bag was just crammed all the way in there. Roll it over a couple of times at the top, you're good to go. There's no water getting in that. And the thing I like about it the most, one, its colour, because when I'm cycling, any time of the year, where I'm going to work or where I'm doing a kind of camp like this, I wear colours that you can actually see my top half. Not to bother about the bottom half, but as long as they can see you. So yellow is brilliant. And these strips, I don't know if the camera can actually pick that up, but it's got some strips here. These are retro reflective strips, so it means that if a car headlight hits you from an angle, it will reflect directly back to that angle, which I think is an absolutely brilliant idea by Lomo. And it's got a couple of strips up the side as well. So that concludes, apart from bike lights, that concludes what I take on my winter camp. Right, so it's that time of night now. I'm all snug in the sleeping bag, just listening to the radio. Them burgers were absolutely fantastic. Bit of leftover cheese from Christmas. I think it was one of these mild cheddar-y types in like the wax. So yeah, that was really nice. I'm nice and warm. All I've done, obviously you can tell that I'm sleeping in my boxer shorts, or my underwear should I say. All I've done is down at the foot end I put my base layer and my cycling trousers, just so I've got something warm to get into tomorrow. Temperature I've just checked is about 7.5 degrees. So it is falling, so yeah, it's going to be a good test this. Right, I'll see you all in the morning. Right, good morning. Sleeping bag, absolutely fantastic. I even woke up in the night and I was sweating. Bit misty out here this morning. Let me spin you around. Yeah, you can see how misty it is. So yeah, really impressed with it, I got up, like I say, in the middle of the night, about 2 o'clock. The thermometer was saying about 4.5 degrees, so that was brilliant. And something else that I did notice in the night, something had been into the tent and attacked me bacon, so no breakfast this morning. Not to worry, I have got like black pudding, mushrooms, eggs, but without bacon doesn't seem right. So I'm just off to go and retrieve the wildlife camera, see what we've got on that. So I don't know if you can see just in front of me, but we've got a bit of wildlife. We've got a male pheasant over there, just disappearing behind that tree there, or that bush should I say. Right, let's go and have a look. Well, the camera's still there, I can see the camera. It looks like the dog food's still there as well. Yeah, pretty much all the dog food's still there. Doesn't look like that's been touched at all, but we never know. So, there's the camera. I'll just release that from its tree. Looks like it's been rained on as well. But it is a waterproof one, so right, let's get this thing off. Right, so I've just had a quick check on the camera, on the wildlife camera. It does look like it's not picked up anything apart from me setting up, but I will get it on the computer at home and recheck, and if there is anything there, then I'll be sure to put it on the end of the video. So yeah, it's been a successful camp. We've had a puncher, we've had something eating me bacon. What else has gone wrong? Nothing, I don't think. Yeah, so I've enjoyed it anyway, and that sleeping bag, wow, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I woke up and I was actually sweating. So yeah, I think I've made a good choice, good purchase with that one. Anyway, that's me waffling. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next time. Thanks for watching.